What Pokemon cards are you guys sending into PSA recently? I'm going to go over with you guys today the next submission that I have. I promise I'll have a PSA return video coming soon. Unfortunately, PSA is taking forever. It's been about 2 to 3 month period still to get cards back. So I've got 2 submissions out to PSA and I'm sending this one off next week. A little bit of accountability. Again, I want to practice what I preach on this channel. I tell you guys, what I'm doing. I want to show you guys exactly what cards I'm sending. So if I do market analysis, you hear me talking about a card, you can see if I'm buying it, selling it, what I'm doing, to show that I'm not trying to push a certain agenda or push certain cards just because I have them. If I mention a card is a good value, good buy, I'm generally going to be buying it here. So let's jump right into it. These first cards, the Arceus V, and this is just keeping the wheel turning. I sold one of these in a PSA 10 for about 150 bucks. While sad to let it go on these modern cards, if you can sell this card and then buy 2 more copies and try to do it all over again, that's exactly the play here. So I've got these 2 ready to go. They look pretty decent. I'm still buying cards on eBay to grade, and there's still been enough margin there. So on the modern cards, I'm all right with letting those go because I just try to do the play again. But these ones are a little bit different. These trainer gallery cards, these are harder to grade. Something about these trainer gallery cards, I don't know if it's the full foil or what, but a lot of times these are either off-centered, have some whitening. So these ones are pretty hard to get. Fortunately for me, my strategy with this is I can almost guarantee not all of these are going to get 10s, but I'm okay with getting some of these evolutions in a 9 just because I think they will sell well as a lot. And that's part of my strategy here, is that I am trying to build as much inventory as I can for the holiday months. Again, if PSA is 2 to 3 months out, we're looking at 3 months from now, September, October, November. We're right in the holiday season. So I want as many cards to come back so I can sell as much as I can during the November to December holiday season before I start looking to buy again in January when everyone's selling off their stuff to recruit. You'll see here, again, a ton of Celebrations cards. Celebrations have seriously been my bread and butter. And when you find something that works, you should kind of stick with it. There is a case to be made to diversify, but these cards, because they grade so well, and with Celebrations cards doing what I expect them to do with the 30th anniversary, I'm going to keep running this play right into the ground, especially for the next 6 to 8 months up until Celebrations comes out. I think these Celebrations cards are going to go crazy. I think the people that are just getting in with Surging Sparks are going to be jumping in, seeing these cards. They can't afford the old vintage ones. They see these in a PSA 10, and hey, I can afford that. Those look pretty cool. I love the nostalgia attached to that. So I think these Celebrations cards are still going to do very, very well. I love this Birthday Pikachu, one of my favorites. I used to grade these all the time and sold them, again, way too cheap. But before they pop off, what can you do? You're really, at the whims of the market, so you just got to roll with it. Charizard, this is part of my quest here to get every Charizard from Scarlet Violet era in a PSA 10. I just bought a collection today that has a few more. I'm hoping some of those are gradable copies, but I don't know. That's going to be a tough task. I could always just buy them, but it feels really bad buying them when I can grade myself. 151 singles, I still think 151 is a little bit undervalued. I'm going to pick these singles up while I can, especially with how much Blooming Waters products are still out there and booster bundles. So while people still have these, while packs are still being ripped and still affordable to being ripped, I'm going to be buying as many 151 singles as I can. So running out of time on the 151 plays, I do think. So that's kind of why I'm trying to stock up as many of these. And again, if these don't get 10s necessarily, these will still sell well as a lot. I've sold lots of these as 9s before, and they sell pretty well. I mean, again, 9s you're typically going to lose money on. So if I can sell these as a lot to break even on that, that's good enough for me. And then I'll just keep running the play while I can. The Sagaro, this one is the one that I pulled on my last video where I opened 2 of every Scarlet Violet era pack. So this is a fun little memory for me. I'll be grading this to keep it. Charizard here, again, my quest. I still don't have this in a 10. I don't even know if this one will 10. It looked pretty good, but there's maybe some whitening, and PSA has really tightened up their standards. So this one will be tough, but I figure if it's a 50-50 chance, might as well take it. I've graded probably 5, 6 of these, and none of them have come back at 10. I have a few 9s. I have 1 9 in my collection now, so we're hoping to get a 10 so that we can upgrade that. Pidgeot, I still think this is undervalued. This card is so nice. I sold this in a 10, so I bought 3 or 4 of them to try and grade, and this one looked to be the cleanest, so I kind of just run it all over again. Use the profits from that PSA 10, buy some copies, hold some of the raw copies so this card goes up, try to grade it again, get another 10. This Charizard, I still think this card is criminally undervalued. This is, in my opinion, the best card of the Scarlet and Violet era. I'm a Charizard homeboy, but I love the colors on this card. Absolutely pop. And I know people don't love the terastallized crowns up there, but they did a good job of hiding the crown, and he just looks so menacing, especially his shiny version. The black and red on this looks so nice, and the texture on this card looks even better in real life. So this card was absolutely flawless as far as whitening and corners go on the outside, but the only problem is on the front, it is a little bit top heavy for sure, if you can see that. And again, PSA lowered their standards, so you have to be, I think, within 55-45 for the around the edges now, which is a pretty clean copy of a card. There are a lot of cards I've gotten 9s on just for centering that would have been just fine before, but I still think this is in the range, and it's at least worth taking a shot at, because again, there's a lot of times these cards just come down to 50-50 who's grading your card that day, unfortunately. But this one's definitely got a shot, so that's my only biggest card. That's my biggest card of submission, and unfortunately I don't have too many big cards in this submission. I would like to start doing more big graded plays, but again, on eBay it's so hard because you're generally not getting very good pictures of the cards, so it's tough to take those risks on the higher value cards. This is the Pokemon Center exclusive Wobbuffet from Destined Rivals. I did not get this ETB from the Pokemon Center, so I had to buy one on the open market. And because of that, I didn't open one, obviously. So I did want this card because I have every Pokemon Center stamped promo card so far from the Scarlet and Violet era. So I had to get this one, and then the Thundurus and the Tornadus as well from Black and White because I did not open those. So I have all these. I bought them as singles. Again, a lot cheaper than buying the box and opening the box. And I did want to complete my collection. So eventually I'll probably start trying to make plays on these. I know these were down a lot, then shot up at the beginning of the year, have come back down some recently. So I do think this is an area that I will want to be playing in going forward because there's such low liquidity on these cards. It's both a positive and a negative. The positive is I do think these will get caught up in buyouts. I think people with big pockets will come in and swoop up all the copies of these that they can find, and people won't be able to unload them to kind of mitigate that buying pressure, and they'll just be able to rocket the prices up when someone with big pockets wants to make a move. The downside is, as I was mentioning, because there's not as much liquidity, I've got a Snorlax from 151 that's been set low list on eBay for probably 2-3 weeks now, and because it's close to $1,000, it's tough. It's a tough sell because people aren't really looking at those right now, so it's not as liquid as something like this Charizard would sell in 2 days if I was low list on eBay for a PSA 10. So these definitely have lower liquidity, but I do have faith that these will pop off at some point in the future just because they'll get caught up in a buyout. So I do want to be playing with these kind of before that buyout happens so that I have some copies to sell. So, and I also want some for my personal collection. So right now these will just be personal collection copies. Again, part of that Snorlax play, if I do sell that off, I'll be trying to buy more copies of those Pokemon Center promos. This Victini, I could see this going the exact same way as their Greninja. It's not quite as good of a Pokemon or art, but these boxes have been hard to find, so I do think this promo card will do pretty well, especially with how nice of a card this is. The Ryunculus, sort of the same thing. This is just a clean copy that I've got from those tech sticker collections, so I thought, why not? Art rares do okay, so I'll take my shot on that one. This Pikachu and Zekrom GX, this is sad. I graded one of these in a 10 a while ago, sold it probably for $60 way back when. This is from that GameStop promo box. I remember opening those and getting absolutely smoked. And this card looked so nice, but there's one little ding. Yeah, right here, you can clearly see it. One little ding. I still don't even know if I'm going to send this off because that'll almost assuredly knock it down to a 6. So I might just hold on to it. But other than that, this card looks so nice. There was no whitening on any of the corners, but man, that tiny little ding right there. But PSA is a real stickler about that. So looking at this now, I'll probably end up taking this out and I'll substitute just another trainer gallery to keep that going. And then these are from Terrestrial Festival. I opened a box of this degenerately, and this is why we don't open, because you get this as your secret illustration rare instead of an evolution. So we got that, but then I'll send in the Eevee, Umbreon, and the Jolteon EX here. Basic EX cards, Japanese cards have been harder to grade from America because PSA opened grading in Japan. The Japanese are grading their own cards, which is a much faster turnaround, much cheaper for them. So it's definitely much harder for us in America to compete in that space, but there is still some demand there, especially as a US seller, just because I can ship it to people in America so much faster. So popular Pokemon like this, I'll take my shot, even though they're just EX cards. So let me know what you thought. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Let me know in the comments if you guys are grading with PSA, or because of the turnaround times, if you guys switched to CGC or someone like that. I still haven't. I'm still exclusively PSA. So, and I think I will be for the time being. Just the liquidity of the cards is just too nice. So like I said, I'm trying to get as much inventory as I can before the holiday season. But let me know what you guys are doing. Do you guys think singles are too high and you're waiting for them to pull back before you grade with PSA? Are you waiting for any sort of PSA holiday special? Let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you like more Pokemon content. Click on one of the videos over there to check out more Pokemon content. And I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day. Peace.